So I have gotten 28 Nintendo Switches. I got them at, I believe it was $56 a piece. So I'm going to be doing the math on that and making sure if we get a prof or not at the end of this. But I'm probably going to do maybe like 4 or 5 parts for this, just going through them all. So I don't have an overhead cam set up for this video, but I've got a new toy that I want to show off. It is a mechanic tail insertion tester. I'm going to have to show it under the microscope, so it's going to be a little annoying, but all it does is it gets diode readings for USB ports. So I can immediately see this is a USB-C port. Pin 20 is shorted, and that is a power line. So that means that indicates it's either the charge port or the M92 at fault. So I've gone ahead and got number 1 taken apart. So the issue seems to indicate, oh, wait a minute. Is that's not water damage already, is it? Surely not. The LDI isn't tripped at all. That is brand new looking, so I'm not too concerned about the possibility of water damage, but that looks a lot like corrosion up there, so that makes me second guess it, but not seeing anything else. Yeah, I think that looks fine. And the pin that was shorted didn't indicate P13, so likely just looking at yeah, shorted M92. So we're gonna go ahead and get this taken off. Some flux. Need to wipe that off. And I'm going at 450 Celsius, 90% air speed. Whoa, shit. Well, that was spooky, shoving all those capacitors off. Is that a component or is that just bridged? Oh no, that's two capacitors that stood up. Oh my god. Yeah, I have to lay those back down. Whoopsies. But anyways, ignoring that, it's a successful removal. Go ahead and clean it while it's hot, as always. Good enough for the moment. I know it's covered in fibers, but... So this is our donor board. So we'll go ahead and rip this one off. This, honestly, not sure if this is a good component, but we're just gonna hope that it is, and we'll figure it out. This is actually a board that I tried to work on a while back, and I genuinely could not find anything wrong with it. Everything tested perfectly normal, and yet it would not power on. So we're going to hope that the cause of those issues was not the M92, because that would really suck. Once again, 450 Celsius, 90% airflow is what I'm using. Voila, perfection. And the fun thing with pulling parts from donor boards is that, generally speaking, you can just put them straight on. However, I'm gonna, out of an abundance of caution, I'm going to go ahead and re-tin all those pads and not play with fate. I did notice that those need to be separated. And then this is something that you do not need to do. Like, this is not, most of the time this is not necessary, but I personally have found a lot of success with pre-tinning the pads on here. And I know it's a donor board, so they are kind of pre-tinned already, but I just don't want to have to do this multiple times. I don't know why this is so overexposed, by the way. This is ridiculous looking. Let me try to fix that. Here we go. That is a lot better. Jesus. That actually looks really good already. Okay, yeah, we'll just go with that. That is the wrong way around. And we will swap over back to the heat gun. Beautiful. Now she can swap over and clean up the excess solder. And obviously all that really gross burn flux, because that was a little too hot. Okay, and we'll just go ahead and clean up from there. Let's try to inspect our work a little bit. No. Those look separated to me. I'm gonna reflow that a little bit really quick. I don't know if I'm overdoing it, but I don't like how that looks. I'm just gonna... Yeah, I really don't think those are connected. Every other side looks really solid, but these ones just do not quite go on right. Man, I really don't want to have to fully take it off, but I can't really get my soldering iron in to really get to those pins right there because of this bit here, this capacitor. tell if it's the tip doing that or what, because it really shouldn't be reacting that way. Oh shit. Okay, and we will give that a test. Just wanted to show that now that we have that M92 installed, we now have pin 20 back. So hopefully all is going to go well whenever I get it put back together for testing. Okay, still don't have the overhead cam set up, so I'm just going to do this by hand, but I've got it back in a testing state. It's not fully back together, the back's not on at all, but just going to plug you in here. And hey, we get a charge symbol now. Before it was a completely black screen. So I will leave that charging and I will come back to it and hopefully all will be well. And just like that, we have got one down, fully working. So I'm going to go ahead and get that reset and then we'll move on to the next one. So we're on to switch number 2. The really fun thing about this one is that it just straight up works. I've already gone and tested pretty much everything on it and it is working totally fine. So don't know what's up with that, but wanted to have a little clip explaining why the counter goes up to 2 here without much work being shown. But this is going to be number 3 then. This one is very cut and dry. I can't think I can get it on this camera, but the pins are actually bent. Yeah, you can see the pins are bent right there. So we're just going to do a charge port replacement and we're going to hope that none of the power rail ICs got blown. Okay, so I've got the board taken out and everything ready to take the port off. I do think it might be important to mention a very fun thing. You can't see it it's on this other side of the LDI, but the LDI is slightly pink on one side, and this console smells so fucking sweet. Like, I genuinely think that they spilled Kool-Aid on it. Pretty fucking annoying, but I mean, there's not any corrosion anymore on the board. I already went through and I kind of cleaned it up a little bit, but I don't see anything too bad with it, so I think for the most part it was that back metal plate that they spilled Kool-Aid on, because otherwise it looks fine. But so I'm just going to go ahead with the repair and hopefully nothing else on the board is fucked up. I'm going at 450 Celsius, 90% airflow from the bottom. Psych, I am heating it from the top. I lied to you. Now we're just going to retin those pads and pop on our new port. And just a reminder, the reason I'm adding more to these joints here, or legs, I guess, through holes, is just to add some leaded solder so that they melt at a lower melting temperature, just so it's easier to install the new port, especially because these ports melt so fucking fast. It's just convenient to have a lower melting temperature. So we're gonna clean up that flux. I'm going to pre-tin the pads on the actual new port. I don't know if I mentioned before, but this is actually something that I have started doing because of, I believe it's Joey Does Tech is their channel. Highly recommend them. But they do this, and I mean, they have great success with it, so that's what we're going with. But just gonna put like a little bit of flux on these. Get our iron. Okay, beautiful. And then we will go from there. And I've got this, I'm just dangling over the side because I'm going to heat it up from the bottom because I don't want to melt a bunch of shit. But I'm going to add a bit of flux. Tube of flux, the #1 hair attractor or fiber attractor for most of these. So annoying. But anyways, gonna flick that on. Heat it from the bottom. I'm going at 450, 90 or 90% airflow again. And yeah. And I'm just going to put slight pressure on the back. Not too hard. I don't want to bend the PCB or anything like that. And that's gone dull gray, so it looks like it should be good. So now we'll reposition and I will take a look at all those pins. So we got it here. Oh, I don't like that. It doesn't look like it went down all the way. It's at a weird kind of angle. Yeah, none of those went down all the way. So I'm just gonna reheat it again and try to lower it. I don't know how raised is this. Not very. That's tragic how close that is. You know, like if this was any other type of port, I would just press down on those with the iron. But I know that second row of pins, if this further out one probably isn't all the way down, it's probably the same story for the ones underneath that you can't actually see. So we're just gonna heat it again and hopefully not melt this port. Like I said, these are so easy to melt. It really sucks having to reflow these. Actually, I am going to try, I think I've done this in a video in the past, but there was this post I saw a while back that was a tip on how to, you know, reflow these without melting them super bad. And the tip is basically just to go down to 30% airflow and heat from the top instead of the bottom. Because that way you can actually like heat the inner and outer row of pins. So I'm going to give that a shot just because I want to play it like super duper safe. So we're just going to toss some flux on here. And we're just going to hope because I don't want to waste a perfectly good USB-C port. Yeah, that sucks. My mat got too hot and it bubbled up and pushed the port off instead of just doing the pins. So I might have to redo that over the edge again instead. It also melted in the back, but that's usually not a big deal. I mean, the front looks flat. Let's test those pins. Maybe it is fine. We can hope, right? I mean, they look lined up at least. Let me readjust that. Oh, let me get my sharper tweezers. These ones are a little too thick. I mean, those are all stable. So let's go ahead and give it a clean. And I'm actually going to plug it into my tester first. I don't like that. Are those bent? I don't know if I'm imagining that. That looks wrong. Okay, I mean, it looks like I was imagining things. Oh, wow, you cannot see that, huh? Because all of the pins check out. So, gonna go ahead and plug this up and let's see if this works. Okay, my amp reader is still missing. So, we're still just gonna kind of plug this in and hope we get that symbol. There we go. Awesome. Okay, cool. Just like all the other ones, all the ones I have pretty much, they're no power, are just literally like blank screen, no indicator for charging or anything. So now that we have that, that's pretty awesome. So I'm just gonna let that charge up and we'll be back once I do some testing. Okay, and it is all working and everything. I already tested like the Bluetooth, the Wi-Fi, Joy-Cons, all that jazz. So I'm gonna get it reset, and then this one is all good to go. Welcome back. I know this shot looks really fucking silly, but these are all the ones that just arrived that have Joy-Con issues, allegedly. This is all from a different person who cataloged these. I've already gone and checked. None of them had a game. One of them had a 128 gigabyte SD card, so that's pretty cool. But I'm just going to go through all of these and verify that that's the only issue they have. And I'm just going to blitz them because they're not solder repairs, so they're not really the focus of my channel. So I'm just going to kind of speed through most of these. Psych, I'm not going to go through those first. So what I'm going to go through is, I think these two here, these are labeled as connection issues. So I'm assuming that means internet. Do these have power? These both have power. Okay. So I'm going to check those first. They are. Okay. Okay. So it's not a Wi-Fi issue. They picked to say Joy-Con like the rest instead of just connection. Let me test that as well. Okay, so these are my ones I have to test. That one works. And that one works. What are they talking about? Does Bluetooth work? Or, well, I don't have a Bluetooth thing right now to check with. Okay, well that seems fine. Let's try this one. Okay. Weird. Maybe they're referring to the TV connection. I can test that whenever I get them all ready to test on the dock. I can test that there. But for now, I'm gonna mark these two as ready because everything seems okay. And then let's just go through one by one and test all of these. Every single one of these in this pile are labeled Joy-Con connections specifically. So we're just gonna kind of blitz through those and maybe we'll get lucky and some of them will just work. And it was just that that person's Joy-Cons didn't work. I do really appreciate that they charge them in order to test them. Okay, that one works. Okay, what the fuck? What? Yeah, all this says is Joy-Con connection. They're not loose. They feel great. What? Yeah, these are fine. What the hell? Okay. Well, I'm gonna mark that as ready as well. Let me rip off their sticker, because that is not accurate, apparently. I get one of my fancy, beautiful little green OK stickers. Voila. And then this one is the same. Oh, okay. Whoa, look at that. Holy shit. Yeah, that's super fucked. What about this side? Okay. So that one's good. Okay, left Joy-Con needs replaced on that one for sure. Yeah, they were actually accurate on this one. Now, I was going to go pull off of a donor switch I have, but then I just realized I have like 3 screen issue ones, so I'm just going to do full frame swaps on those screens so that way I don't risk breaking them, and then I'm going to pull the rails off of those ones and trade them that way. So I'm gonna do those screens right now. Okay, so both of these say that they have white spots on the screen. Okay, this one looks fine so far. Is this one dead, I think? Okay, this one's fully dead, so I'm gonna leave this one on the charger for a little bit. Oh, there we go. That's water damage. Okay, that's not fun. Hopefully, yeah, no, that is straight up water damage. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do a frame replacement on this, and we will hopefully not see any signs of corrosion. Hopefully, if we're lucky today. This is the frame we're gonna be using. I'm just going to, well, first of all, I'm going to take this off. I don't know if this is referring to the software version or what, the 14.0.1. Oh, what is this? Has screen damage. Okay, yeah, they just labeled this twice for whatever reason. I do appreciate the labels, even though some of them are inaccurate, but I mean, the inaccuracies help me out so far, so I'm not too upset. Oh. Yeah, I like they didn't mention that part. This whole back piece is just actually gone. That's water damage inside. Fuck. Well, obviously I knew it would be inside because like the spots are on the LCD, but goddamn, that's gonna be a bitch. Hopefully there's not too much corrosion because this is on the battery side. I mean, it doesn't look like it rusted. Like it looks like, or well, no, that's absolutely looks like rust. Unfortunate. Okay. The LDI is not tripped, so it looks like it came in here and soaked through, I guess. Weird. So it literally just went on the battery, it looks like. I think I need to switch back to my work mat. I had it on this one just for presentation purposes, but then I got distracted and I started actually like working on them. Ah, shit. Okay, this has a cracked screen. I didn't know that. Fuck. Let me go ahead and pop that red sticker on there. Damn it. I'm gonna record once I've got it installed again, because I don't want to record the exact same process again. I'm just going to get straight to the new screen installed. And so I got this new frame on and it is working. No more grossness, and the screen actually works, thankfully. So that's one more down, and we'll move on to the next one. So I was going to swap back over to doing those like Joy-Con and screen related ones, but I just realized that this video is approaching 30 minutes now. So I'm just going to continue on in a part 2. Thank you so much for watching.